So I found a better way to get higher paying clients into your business. Literally in just 1 month, our private client Ty Nguyen got 355 new clients, paying him well over the $100 price per haircut in just 30 days inside of Richmond, Virginia. Now, you might be thinking like, dude, cool, like good for Ty, but I can't do that where I'm at in my area. And I'll personally say that you're wrong. Because those 355 new clients they got in a 30-day time span didn't just come from a 5 to 10 mile radius inside of Richmond, Virginia, but he was consistently getting people driving at least over 2 hours away to get a cut from him. Cities like in Maryland, North Carolina, and of course, Virginia. And if you need any more proof, you can simply check him out on Instagram at Steady Nguyen Cutting. And I say all that because too many barbers out there are saying that location matters, when in reality, location does not matter. What matters is how you run the business. And it really just comes down to 4 changes that you need to make starting today. And in this video, I'm going to run down what those 4 changes are that you need to make so you can start seeing similar results like Ty did. So when I hear barbers say that location matters, where I always like to start with is understanding, why does a client drive 3 hours away to get their haircut by some of our private clients? Why do they pay premium prices of $100, $200 a haircut? So we always got to start with the question why. A lot of barbers think about, well, maybe it's price. I would say, no, siree, it is not price. Why would somebody drive 3 hours away just to pay $100 when there's other barbers out there? Now, a lot of barbers might say, well, it might be experience. The more experience-wise, people will drive farther away. Well, equally with that, you have barbers who've been cutting for 20 plus years. They don't get clients that are driving 3 hours away because the client's like, oh my God, this barber's been cutting for 20 plus years. Abso-freaking-lutely, I'm going to this barber because of that. And it's not because of the conversation. It's not because clients are like, oh my God, I want to drive 3 hours away because I want to have this conversation with this individual. I want to drive that long. People and barbers always think that these 3 things are the reason why clients come to them. They will always come to the fact and reasoning that location matters for their business. And what I want you to understand is location matters based on how you run your business. So if you run your business based on these 3 things, you will probably fall into this bucket of barbers that say location matters. Here's what I want you to really switch your thinking to. Location does not matter based on the value that you give your clients is higher than what they can get in said maybe like that 3 hour drive or even the location. Now, what I always have to come back to is, what is value? This might be going in your head like, Daniel, what is even value? What do you mean by value overall? To me, what is value is solving problems. Okay. How business works is based on the severity of the problem that you solve. So the higher the problem that you solve for said client in whatever business, the more, 1, new clients you'll get, and 2, the higher you can charge for that price. When I think of solving problems, I really like stick into 3 main categories. Number 1 is going to be lineup. Not like how sharp you get the lineup, but solving problems for clients who do have lineups. Think about it like this. Think about the clients that you do get if you do specialize in lineups. Why do people come to you overall? Well, it could be for a couple things. Could be the client is receding, and their receding hairline, nobody can get their receding hairline exactly how you get it overall. Maybe it's because they have an overgrown hairline and barbers don't push them back properly. Equally with the beard, same thing. Maybe for some guy with the beard like myself, nobody can get their beard line as crisp or sharp as they like it to. And if you're able to solve those problems for clients will drive far away. Now, if you understand this, the value you give in those 3 areas is better than anyone else in their location, you will go ahead and lock in that client. A lot of barbers think, well, why would people drive far places to like get haircuts done? I don't think people would. Well, we have to take examples where people are already doing this in the world today. People already do this for food, for experiences. People pay a higher price point on like a steak dinner, driving a couple hours away to that steakhouse, than they do a steak cooked at like Applebee's. And so we already do this in everyday life, where we will drive far places for food that is higher price that we can't get anywhere else. People do this for gyms as well too. I go and drive 15 minutes away for a gym that I prefer to go to. There's already like 3 or 4 gyms, if not more, on my drive there that are closer vicinity to me that are also cheaper, but I choose to go to a gym that's farther away and pay a higher price point because of the ambiance that's there. People do this also for spas, for nails, for farmers markets. People already do this in regular day life. And my idea behind this is, well, if me and you, is already doing this ourselves every single day, then why can't our business as barbers be the same thing? And that's what I really want you guys to understand. And when you go to this thinking pattern, right, of like, okay, location doesn't matter. It matters about how I run my business, it matters what problems I solve. I can't be like every single barber. Then we have to come back to the point of like, well, what needs to change in this sense? If we do what everyone else does. Then we will get what everyone else has. You might have heard this as well too in other, in the barbershop that you cut, location you cut. People always say, well, it's always been done this way. It can never be done any different. It can't be done, blah, blah, blah. You can't charge this price. You can't make this amount of money. People won't pay that high price out in this area. So what you have to think about this is, if everyone else is relying on, let's say, word of mouth, and they're doing passing out business cards, relying on walk-ins, they're guessing on their business, they're a barber for everyone, they're doing 20 cuts plus a day, they're doing 30-minute haircuts. If everyone is doing this, then you need to think, I need to do none of this and need to change up what I am doing. And what you need to be doing and thinking about is like, I need to be a barber for one type of client, one specific type of client, one problem I'm actually solving. You need to think you need to market yourself on social media, not just for clout, not just for likes, not just for followers, but market to convert on new clients. You also need to have one focus of what you need to be putting out there. So when you're marketing yourself on social media, you should not be putting out everything under the sun. But again, too, that one problem that you solve, maybe you need to be more detailed, right? If everyone's like doing these quick chop shot type of cuts, 30-minute cuts, maybe you should transition yourself into doing 45, 60-minute cuts overall. So you are more detailed with your work. You spend more time on solving that one problem. That way that client feels like, oh my God, this is exactly what I need to have. Now, what you need to do based off this is what I try to get across to all of our private clients that work inside of Elevated Mentorship Program. Number one, all of your new clients that you are getting, you need to ask them why they are coming to you. What stood out to them about what your service, and why are they going to you as a barber? What problem do you solve for all of those new clients? Because if you figure that out, you need to start marketing that thing more often. The thing you really want to understand is, if you can go ahead and figure out why all these new clients are coming in, what problem that you solve, and then you market that, in theory and good logic, you should produce more new clients into your business. Well, let's say overall, like, you are not getting that many new clients. We all been there before, right? Well, you just want to look at the clients that are paying you the most, your highest paying clients, the biggest tippers. People are always coming back to you and paying you the most amount of money, not the cheapo client. You ask them the same questions and you try to figure out what problems do you solve for them, and what problems do they tell you that you solve for them that make them want to pay higher price points to you overall. And then you need to focus on marketing that one thing, because it is my belief, when you reach more people and you solve a problem, where you cut out will no longer be an issue and people will travel for your services that they cannot get anywhere else. And you need to understand this point, because I think a lot of barbers, when they start blaming the location, they start blaming, oh my God, it's my city, it's my location, I can't get those higher paying clients, people won't pay that to me. It is simply because they are pointing the finger outward at everyone else and blaming everyone else, versus pointing the finger back at themselves and realizing they are not a good business owner. They're not thinking about strategically, that they are doing everything that everyone else is doing and getting the same results that everyone else is getting. So no wonder why you have that perception on the reality. And this can change based on what you do as well too. Now, based on all this thing, it's good to go over some actionable steps for you to take based on this video. If someone else is doing it, you can too. If there are other barbers like we just mentioned right here, getting new clients that are driving 2 to 3 hours away, 4 hours away consistently, tipping and paying higher price points for haircuts, it is possible for where you are located at currently right now. Number 2, switch from I cut hair to I solve problems. Again, business is always about solving problems. Next, you want to look at what everyone else is doing and don't do that unless you want those results. And last but not least, market one problem that you solve better than everyone else and be loud about it.